Print, email, Facebook, Twitter. More analysis. Darling Range by-election campaign turns awkward as Tania Lawrence meets Mike Nahan. Media player, space to play, M to mute, left and right to seek, 00:5600:56. Darling Range by-election campaigning got a little awkward on Wednesday as early voting opened for the seat, where the McGowan government is still trying to shrug off the memory of previous incumbent Barry Urban. The vast electorate encompasses the Shire of Mundaring, Kalamunda, the city of Armadale, right down to the Shire of Serpentine Jarrahdale. Driving from one end to the other could take up to an hour and a half, but even the distance wasn't enough for the major parties to avoid an unplanned run-in while hitting the campaign trail. The Liberal posse included candidate Alyssa Hayden and leader Mike Nahan, who began their day with a walkthrough and chat to locals at the Mundaring Village Shopping Centre. But coincidentally, Environment Minister Stephen Dawson and Labour candidate Tania Lawrence happened to be there at the same time, spruiking a plastic-free July. While most of the Liberals avoided the turf struggle, Dr Nahan headed straight for it, trading pleasantries with the minister and meeting Labour's candidate. Either Dr Nahan didn't hear or chose to ignore Ms Lawrence when she introduced herself as the member for Darling Range as she welcomed him to the neighbourhood. Ms Lawrence lives in the electorate, unlike many of the 11 candidates, including Ms Hayden, but awarded herself the win and title more than 2 weeks before the ballot closes. The candidate also joked she would be sending Dr Nahan a reusable keep cup instead of his takeaway one, given the government's plastic-free push. The awkward encounter was almost repeated later in the day on the other side of the electorate at the Byford early polling booth, but the Liberals scrambled when they saw Ms Lawrence roll into the car park. The electorate has been forced to the polls by the resignation of the disgraced former Labour-turned-independent MP, Barry Urban. Mr Urban resigned from the WAR Parliament after he was found to have committed a sustained and gross contempt of Parliament for lying about his education and police service history. Labour's first pick as candidate, Colleen Yates, was then forced to quit after it emerged that she too had discrepancies in her education history. It has become a contentious seat, previously held by the Liberals for decades before Labour's crushing election victory last year. But the big question is whether the Urban scandal, and the second credential drama that followed with Ms Yates, will actually have an impact on voter opinion. Voter opinions divergent. Political analysts have said it could be anyone's game. Speaking to a handful of locals, it is clear that the sentiment rings true. Pickering Brook resident John Davis has always been a staunch Liberal voter. The last 15 months of a Labour government has not changed his mind. "I think it's a bloody disgrace," the last two candidates, Mr Davis said. "There's no way in the world I'd vote for Labour, not after that debacle." But others in Byford, who voted Labour at the election, seemed not to have wavered in their support. "It's not a problem," said one voter. "Barry Urban is just one man, isn't he? He's not the party. It's the economy that matters." Several Labour supporters said they had not heard about the Urban scandal, but it would not change their vote. Both candidates have been adamant that it is simply the issues, not the politics, in the community which will drive votes. Mundaring cafe owner Patrick Sullivan, who is a Liberal voter, agrees. "Being in small business, it's the economy that's the priority. That means employment," he said. "Creating jobs, looking for opportunities for more development within Western Australia as a whole, not just this particular area." Print, email, Facebook, Twitter.